Salakia storage. We should be good now. But where I left off was Matthew 3:24. And it says, if kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, it cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against Satan, if Satan rise up against itself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And it says divided. Hey, it's a math term. But as you can see, when you look at these other nations, and that was actually a pretty good video, or to a point to add on to me when IUIC had that AI of, I'm such and such, Italian, nation of Edom, Russia, nation of Edom. Look, they're all, these other nations, they're still Edomites at the end of the day. But you can see them come up against each other, and they're gonna fight to the point where you're gonna see the spiritual whore, Babylon, also known as America, going to get nuked and destroyed. All right, and then as you can see, as the curses and everything gets flipped, it's going to be at a greater multitude. When you look at Jake and the curses that we go through, hating our brother, our neighbor, our fellow Israelite, is always street shit, gangs, so on and so forth. But now you still got, people that's in true rulership and having, true power, having true numbers coming at each other. All right, because if you look at everything that this whore done on his side, these other nations is pissed where, they want their get back, to a point where these other nations isn't afraid of this whore anymore because they just got the same power as this place. Okay, and that's why the men of the Lord, the men of GMS, Great Millstone, we listen. We don't try to put our own synopsis, try to go on our own way. The scriptures say, be on one accord with each other. And that's, what it is. So another scripture I want to bring out. You get the book of Amos. Here we go. Amos 3:3. Scripture reads, Can two walk together except they be agreed? And that answer is, and this is a hypothetical question, but the answer to that is no. Because, you might see some philosophies and certain things that, these other nations agree upon, but there's not 100% agreement on them. It's basically, like I said, when you look at, a whore, she might want this, and that. Yeah, she might give you some box, but then there's always a whore will always kind of move the goalpost. All right, and it's come to a point where these other nations is like pissed off, like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna give you the hands, and on a literal sense, I'm going to have to bomb you out. Okay. Let me grab another one. There's one more I wanted to grab. Because you see, again, like I said, this place is the Lord is like the greatest mathematician. Here we go. That's what I'm gonna grab. Revelation 13 and verse 10. All right, and it says, because this is gonna be the be all basically, is Revelation 13:10, and it says, He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, because we are those saints. We are to be a saint, you gotta be an Israelite. But knowing that everything that we go through, we see the reward that everything that happened to us in our past life, or what our forefathers went through, is going to be a reconciliation for what our oppressors did to us. All right, and that's fair. It'll be fucked up to seeing a kingdom and we ruling or being hand in hand with the people who did all these abominations to us. like the leader of Brothers of the Block said, like, if this is gonna happen, bro, I'll have a whole attitude in the kingdom. Hey, but honestly, so the Lord is fair. The Lord is a true mathematician, and it's going to be a balanced solution, okay? And that's going to be for the ultimate goal is going to be for the children of Israel, right? Hopefully I can get this last one. And it reads, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right, so that's what we're looking forward to. When we get in that kingdom, we know Jacob, the Israelites are going to be in power, be in straight rulership. Hey, Daniel the 7th chapter. But nevertheless, Lord willing, I hope this video was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakapadash. And again, double honors to the elders and apostles that great millstones, teaching the truth and sincerity, and also who rule well. Peace and salutations to the whole elect. I'm going to close out, say shalom, and on to the next lesson.